What's happening, guys? It's Anthony with Jhuly's Aquatics and Gardening, and welcome back to another video. So I was going to film this video outside, but it's just a little bit too humid, and I honestly didn't feel like being out there, so I came inside. So if it's a little bit harsh lighting-wise, if you hear any wild, crazy noises in the background, I'm inside my house, so that's that. So I went out today and I purchased some really neat Talavera pieces. I have this Talavera teapot, and I also have this Talavera like trough kind of thing. Really, really neat. And I've been into Talavera a lot for my succulents lately. So I'm gonna plant them up and kind of show you guys what I do. I've been noticing that they've been putting on these stickers, authenticity stickers, I guess. So I always look for this when I'm purchasing Talavera. And soon I will give you guys a tour of all of my succulent plantings, because I've been doing a lot of succulents lately, and in Talavera especially. I recently posted a video showing you guys how I blend up my own potting mix, and I will make sure I link it up above and in the description. And it's out. That whole wheelbarrow full of potting mix that I made is done. So I actually had to make some more. It's the same recipe base, but I left out the amendments or the fertilizers, except for a little compost. There's a little bit of compost in here, but I didn't put any of the other amendments into this. I doubled the amount of perlite and pine bark soil conditioner that I used in the original mix, and I also added in some sand, some really coarse sand. It's the same type of sand I use in my bog garden that I get from petflytrap.com. So this is very well draining. It also has a couple pieces of lava rock. Just some small lava rock is in there again, and that will help with drainage. Can you see that? There you go. So this Talavera pot didn't come with a drainage hole, so I drilled one. It's better to have drainage in my area than to not. So let's load this up. Alright, so you can see that I packed it full, and there's kind of a natural upslope to the container. So I'm going to be making sure to take that into account as I design. So I'm pretty much just going to be sticking my plants in, and let's see how it turns out. Alright, so I'm going to kind of talk you through what I do. This is an Echeveria cubic frost. It came in this size container, and as you can see, I took off pretty much all the soil off of it. So I kind of want this to be the focal point at the front, and I kind of like how it looks peeking over the top of the soil there, top of the container there. So what I'm going to do is build up the soil level here, so that I can rest that like so. And I'll pack soil in around it. Boom. Beautiful. And here is the first pot. Now, I know it's kind of hard to see probably detail because we're indoors, but boy, I had a very, very fun time putting this together. There's Crassula ovata at the top. There's this little climbing aloe back here, a little afterglow sedum back there. And then because it's a teapot, I wanted to have some spilling elements, so I have a string of bananas here. And then at the front of the pot, coming out of the top, I planted a Portulacaria afro-variegata spilling out of the front this way. I love the way it came out, and I will not be watering this for a good month, I'd say, because unfortunately the plants recently were watered at the big box store, and they also got saturated in our rainstorm last night, so this won't be watered for quite some time. So I'm going to put this one to the side, and then we can move on to the next Talavera piece. So this beautiful piece of Talavera came with 2 drain holes at the bottom. So I'm going to fill it with soil, and then we're going to get started. So I hope you're able to see past my messy work surface. You can see why I put down this paper, because I get soil absolutely everywhere. But another thing I like to do, and it's a good tip, I compact the soil just slightly when I am working on my succulent arrangements, because if you don't do that in time, they will shrink, and you don't want a whole bunch of shrinkage afterwards. If you've ever dealt with this problem, which I'm sure we've all dealt with it, where your leaves or your succulents just fall off, it's not because necessarily you're handling them incorrectly, although sometimes that is a contributing factor, but a lot of times why succulents leaves fall off easily is because they've been getting too much moisture. So you want to be careful not to overwater your succulents. Don't you like how that's just dancing out the side like that? Beautiful. Alright, so let me stop talking and get planting. I want this, I think it's a Horothea, to sit up a little bit in the arrangement, so I just mounded the soil up a bit there. Design tip: while you are putting together your succulent arrangements, try to use your biggest succulents first. They'll take up the most space, and if you're like me, you don't want to see dirt or gaps in your arrangement. So you're always like, taking off a little piece here, taking off a little piece there, and then by the time you get to the end of your arrangement, you have gaps and you have no smaller specimens to use. Well, again, resist the urge to use those smaller guys early on, so that way, after you get your big statement pieces in, you can have little guys left over to tuck in and fill those gaps. All right, so one thing that another kind of tip, this is not standing up straight. So what I'm going to do is use one hand and hold it in place, and then I'm going to wedge another succulent right here behind it to keep it up. If I didn't have another succulent to keep it up, or if it was only going to be seen for one side, I would put a huge rock right here, and that would prop it up. But I think this is going to be seen from both sides, so I'm just going to take an Echeveria imbricata, clean up the base, check for slugs, because I did see some slugs out there. And then I'm going to tuck this in back here. And that is going to help keep that from falling back that way. Right? Just like that. And I'm going to use this one to wedge it up from this side. To prop it up from this side. And this is a Kalanchoe luciae or paddle plant. here's the final product, guys. This is the Succulent tea planter. Succulent Talavera tea planter. Beautiful. Ooh, there's a gap. Oh, nope, it's not a gap. It's the edge of the pot. Huh. Well, knowing me, I'm going to stick something in right there. Yeah, you see that gap right here? I'm going to stick something in right there. Oop, boom, right there. But not right now. I love the way this one turned out. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And once this matures and fills in, I think it's going to be stunning. Now, if you know what this Echeveria is here, please let me know. I think it's an Echeveria Afterglow. I'm not sure, though. But again, I love how this turns out. And it's going to go outside in a part sun area. So this is my Succulent Talavera tea planter. Now, planting up this one reminded me why I don't plant in long vertical containers. They, number one, take way more succulents than a round container does. And you have to plant on both sides. And there's another gap there that I need to fill in. So I'm looking down and I'm seeing some gaps in some soil. But this one was definitely way more challenging than a teacup planter. And also another added challenge was I didn't want to plant anything that would spill over and cover the detail of the pot on the front. But I think again it turned out well. I ran out of plants with this one, so majority of the plants that you see here were pulled from the arrangement that I did in the ground outside, which I almost have depleted at this point in time. So I hope you guys like the way that this turned out. I certainly had a lot of fun putting these planters together, and I am big time into Talavera pots. So for me, the more the merrier. I will do a tour, garden tour soon, and I will show you all of my succulent arrangements that I have planted in terracotta pots. And oops. And that was probably there the whole time. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I really do hope that you guys enjoyed watching these planters come together. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Remember to take care, like, comment, please subscribe and share this video. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers and I'm needing your help to get there. So in all things, remember guys to give thanks, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.